So let's take a look. This is another tweet from Jack, and I found this one interesting. I kind of have been saying would like another edge rusher, a veteran edge rusher. And you make an interesting point. You're not sure that you see a veteran edge rusher in free agency for the Browns. Justin Houston makes more sense than Frank Clark. Would also mean that you would have to cut Isaiah Thomas or Lonnie Phelps just because of the numbers game. And again, a pretty good indication they like Phelps. They give him extra signing bonus to come on as an undrafted rookie free agent. We talked about him earlier in the week. I think he had a 5th-round grade by some people. Take me again through your rationale why you think an edge rusher, a veteran edge rusher, probably isn't the way they're looking right now.
Yeah, so every season they've kept 9 on the defensive line. We've had 2 seasons where it's been 5 edges and 4 DTs, and then we had 1 season where we had the 2 Maliks on the interior, which was 5 DTs and 4 edges. But we know everything's pointing towards 9 on the D-line. And some people have said, but Schwartz has kept slightly more with old teams, but they're not cutting linebackers to do that, and they're not probably cutting DBs to do it. So 9 seems very much likely where they're going to land. So if you're there, you're saying, hey, we've got Myles Garrett, we've got Okoronkwo, we've got Wright, we've got Maguire. And then if you bring in Justin Houston, and for me, Justin Houston makes more sense than Frank Clark. Cheaper, much better pass rush efficiency metrics, pressure, getting to the quarterback, which is what they tend to prefer as a team. Well, there's no spot then for Thomas. There's no spot left for Phelps. And I don't think that's an issue to the team, but it's just an awareness that you are saying that these guys are done. The minute you sign, Isaiah Thomas's agent's probably saying, hey, do you guys mind trading me? You might not get much in a trade, but I want to go to another team where I can actually make the roster. And you can't blame him and his agent for doing that because they're putting their player and their future before being the 6th edge. They're not going to keep 6 edges. You might get 6 edges on the final 53, but that won't be the week 1 roster. So if you're signing an edge, that's the end of that player. Unless it's injury cover, crazy stuff can happen. Maybe Okoronkwo ends up with season-ending injury and you're now in a better spot for having the extra player. But across the entire roster, we almost have an extra player at every single position all the way down, with the exception, I'd say, of running back. But every other spot, you've got like an extra guy that is worthy of being on an NFL team. And that's going to be really, really unique for the Browns. When we get to roster cut down at the end of camp, you're going to see a few guys traded, probably, but you're going to see guys cut from the Browns and people are like, I want this guy on the practice squad. They're going to get claimed on a 53 and probably play snaps. I'd say keep an eye on Demetric Felton to play for the 49ers this season. For me, just feels like his ideal home and scheme for the team he should be on.
So as you go through that and say, there's a guy at every position, is that kind of what we're talking about as far as the depth of this roster and how good it has been relative to Browns rosters the past couple of years, which we thought were good?
This is the best roster since the return, and I don't think it's even close. It is really, really deep across the entire board. And that's a real relief because you're going to get injuries in camp. And we've actually got the roster to deal with that. It's not which random UDFA that 99% of people have never heard of is going to make the team. We're talking about the roster. We're going to have people that drafted relatively high in the past. They're not going to make the team. And that's perfectly fine. I'd much rather go into camp where we're talking about, right, we might know the starting 22 either side of the ball, but there is guys that are worthy of being on a 53 in the NFL that we're just going to get rid of and discard. But take the best players, and that's for Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, Schwartz, to decide and look at who is the best players, and let's keep those guys.